Hello. Welcome back to the Escapism Ensemble. I will get used to saying that one day. We're going to continue our little Cogent campaign, pretty much from where we left off. And I will first allow our players to reintroduce themselves, starting with Alix.
Hi, I'm Alix, and I will be playing Mac, the Mech Tech.
Nice, nailed it. Solid job.
I'm Emily, and I'm playing Dottie, a geologist.
Wonderful.
I'm
You're
Owen,
up,
playing
the only one left.
Bo the Farmer.
Bo the Farmer. Lovely.
Bo.
Bo. Oh, copyright strike
Okay.
right there. Out the gate. Dreadful. Anyway, last time we introduced our characters being paid to help escort a bunch of ne'er-do-wells in the back of an
Bunch of bad
APC
eggs.
of sorts to a kind of not a waypoint, a stopgap, a building where they're going to get some more fuel, maybe some more people who are not the party, and then carry on and take these men to where they belong. And there was a cat.
I'm very confused as to why there was just suddenly.
Wonderful. Just
The nugget
a
cat.
floating cat.
Oh my god, it's Nugget.
Sorry, continue.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Part 2 of this can easily be a cat. I don't mind. In the back of this APC, people kind of had a conversation. They'd been traveling for a day at this point, so they kind of got vaguely to know each other prior to the start of the campaign. And the party have all met each other prior to this for quite a while ago, I think. In fact, everyone kind of got a sense of each other in the back of this vehicle. The guards and the driver, not too keen on the party for the most part, hoping that they'll just kind of
Do their job and leave.
do the thing they're being paid for and then leave. Not quite how it's going. The crooks, one Dwight Bad Egg Edwards, seems to have basically made a name for himself as the sort of person who, if he says he's good for something, when it comes to like payment or a favor, is good for it. Partly because he nicked some money from a corporation before disappearing. He used to work in finance within that company. Which company he hasn't said yet. Robert Baxter, his little skinny friend, just seems to really like stabbing. It's a pretty retro means of killing people when you're in space. And then Chester Wallace, him and his one big cybernetic arm kind of have a reputation for popping people's heads like melons.
And cooking.
And actually being a pretty decent party host. In fact, all three of them agree he's a very good host. And as this journey's gone on, unexpectedly, for the most part, the party have started being kind of like, oh, these guys have friends that might be coming to help them, and that might mean we're outnumbered. In a choice, it seems like they're leaning towards taking money from Dwight Bad Egg Edwards and potentially helping him get away, rather than actually keeping him here and keeping him imprisoned and potentially seeing him actually get arrested. That is a choice that seems to be being made, but no one's necessarily made a choice yet. And the guards themselves are acknowledging that this situation is not looking to be in their favor at present. So we'll bring it back in to where basically Mac had said, you know, is this worth your lives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at their basically very non-committal response, Mac's just gonna kind of turn and look at Dwight and just be like, do you have an offer?
Yeah, the ball's very much in his court at this point.
I do, actually. How about 1,000 each for you three?
Just us three? What about these 4 unfortunate souls?
Well, they're going to get paid either way.
I mean, fair, but it helps if they know what they're getting into. It's not exactly
Sorry.
like, oh, I'm getting paid some money.
I mean, yeah. He sort of says they aren't going to need much more. They get to live if this goes south. we can make it look like that we overpowered them, got away, and they hadn't really had a chance because there's only 3 of them. Sound good to
And
you?
only 2 bullets between the 3 of them.
Yep.
Do we know if Sherman has any weapons or anything? Like, did we see them when we were getting
No,
off?
you haven't seen. It's not. It could be. He could have weapons that he kind of stayed out of the conversation.
What happens to us if we accept the money? Say, hypothetically, we take your money. What happens to us then?
You come with us. We take you to a certain safe spot we know about. Get the money, and maybe we offer you jobs down the line. Maybe we don't, but you get to walk away.
In our private network.
Group
to the
chat.
other crew.
Yeah.
I got like one of those phones that like slides up. The old Samsung one.
Oh God, love it.
Those old razors.
Don't worry, I have a flip phone.
Razors, yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God. What do we think, gang?
So,
I mean, I am inclined to live.
yeah, I kind of also appreciate that.
I'm a little bit concerned about my reputation. I do have like other scientists and researchers, and I, still have connections to Earth. And I
Careful, rodeo's really close.
to Earth, and I'm a little concerned that these guards. I'm a little concerned that these guards will then tell everyone that I accept dirty money and aren't to be trusted, and a no good crook.
So yeah, that means everybody would have to go down. But
We
the
can
issue
always
with that
kill
is,
the guards, yeah, I mean...
Or they all come with us.
Or they come with us, yeah.
yeah,
Or we do something that means that they don't talk. Maybe they get a bit more money or something.
Mm.
well then there's 2 ways to go about this. We can all magically end up dead, quote unquote. They can get our extra money,
Yeah.
or we can make them all actually dead. But then that kind of poses the issue of, do we want to be running around killing people left, right, and center?
I turn to the guards and say, "So, you've heard that. You've heard the deal, or the offer, rather. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna tell everyone what's happened here? Obviously, you know who we are, but we also know who you are, and we've made friends."
I don't think it would be in our best interest to say anything at this point.
Can I hold you to that?
Certainly can.
Wait, not
Says
in your
when.
best interest to say anything about the thought of doing something, or to not give a decision on what should be done?
She's I'm not making any like explicit threats, but very much I'll let them decide what that threat is.
That makes sense.
Vague for the sake of being vague.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, they're not helping. They're being pretty vague as well.
So you say you're not going to tell anyone, and you're right. It's in your best interest not to, I suppose.
Do you guys like your jobs? I mean, why not just run away and join a criminal gang?
Typically, it pays quite well and isn't normally this.
Apparently, so does crime.
Yeah. But hear me out. We get decent food and a decent bed to sleep in, paid for by the corporation.
Wallace cooks,
Yeah, well,
supposedly. I haven't tried his food, but
neither have I, and I don't think I want to. That was a nervous laugh. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm not going to make you lose your job by coming with a criminal gang. I just ask that you respect that you have no interest in killing you, and in return, please don't tell anyone.
And in return, forget me.
What say
Sherman
you?
has been noticeably quiet this entire time.
Quieter
It
than
says-
usual?
Noticeably quiet.
He's not even breathing.
He's stopped breathing. No, he's quite clearly very tense, has stopped looking back at this point. And for the first time in most of this journey, for the most part, he's going to say, what's to stop you from turning around and killing us when we let him out?
What's to stop us from killing you right now?
Mac has a point.
Fair enough.
I have no other response other than that. I mean,
Sherman,
we're gonna have to trust you guys to, just.
He puts on a helmet.
Then I'm going to put on my
Sherman.
helmet as well.
I also put on my helmet.
Yeah, same. Wait, where'd I put it, guys?
Do the prisoners have helmets that we can put on them?
No.
What you doing, Sherman? You're making me nervous.
Well, now we may have 2 bullets, an empty assault rifle, and a fully loaded shotgun under my seat. But we also have the ability to completely just vent that back room and make sure that those 3 lovely men don't cause us any trouble.
I mean, fair, but it's not the 3 of them we need to be concerned about. It's the group coming to get them we need to be concerned about.
I don't give a shit. I don't trust them as far as I could throw them. I'd rather take the rap for them ending up coming in dead than me ending up coming in dead. So,
Here's the
are you going to take the company's money and this goes smoothly, or am I going to vent the oxygen of that back room and kill 3 men who don't yet need killing?
Can I get into the system to stop that from happening?
It's gonna be a hard roll. It's gonna be a very
Destiny
hard
roll.
roll.
Destiny
You're
roll.
nowhere near
Destiny
the front.
roll. Destiny roll.
No, I mean, can I just? Because I have the little.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
If it was like a direct input, it would be a lot easier. But you're doing this almost remotely.
Okay.
Wi-Fi, yeah.
Destiny roll.
All right. So how would I do this?
I guess infiltration. Roll the base 3d6.
What's the
your
challenge
intelligence dice, and then
That's 4.
your skills in infiltration if you have it.
What's the challenge roll? Challenge rating?
You don't get to know this time. I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Okay.
It will be.
Can I argue for mech tech applying to this? Because theoretically, I would have to be able to get into a lot of different types of systems, military or corporations, in order to work on different mechs.
Okay. So here's how that's going to work. The vocation that you're wanting to use will be a separate challenge that we'll do first to see whether or not that adds a bonus to whatever roll you end up rolling for the actual check to see if you get in. So roll first your intelligence, the base 3d6, your intelligence, and whatever you have in your vocation, and then I will set
in my vocation or an infiltration.
Vocation first, because that's gonna. They're basically vocations act as an assistance to your actual role, and it will either take or add depending on how this first bit goes.
So base 3 intelligence, and then my
your vocation skill points. Yeah.
Okay. 2 6s, 2 5s, 3 1s, and a 2.
So how many successes?
4 passes.
4
successes, 4 fails.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 8 dice for that.
Wow.
Right. Give me a minute.
I put all of my points into that.
Okay, cool. So you rolled a 4, was it?
4 successes, yes.
4 successes. Wow. 3 means that you get to add the challenge rating of 3 means you get to add 1 to whatever you roll for your next check, which will be your infiltration.
All right. So that's the base 3 intelligence and whatever I have in infiltration.
Yep. And then this extra 1 from you don't get to roll a dice for this. You just get to add 1 victory point to whatever it is. 1 success or whatever.
2 4s and a 5. So 3 more successes and then plus 1 victory point. So 4.
4. Just 4 would have been, yeah. because this would have been a little bit tougher than just a specialized task, I'd
Yeah.
argue. Yeah,
Oh.
you can see kind of the quite simple system laid out in front of you. This is nothing compared to like military grade mechs that you've had to deal with in the past. The actual system itself isn't too dissimilar. They all kind of work off of a similar operating system at this point. Most vehicles are
They're
kind of
all on
standardized.
Windows.
It's Windows Vista. We're all doomed.
I wonder it's only 5G still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
So you
can
can
I
see
check
it.
on Graphel's update?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that ever actually finished.
You watch it.
never asked.
As you kind of glance at it on your little like pad, you can see that it's like it was at 80, but it's gone back down to 75 since you started hogging up the bandwidth. Gravel's rubbish.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. You're right.
That's my.
Okay.
I have nothing
Yeah.
to say but whimpering.
You can
I
kind
am
of see
turned on the
the
hotspot,
system.
man.
Yeah, you can see the system laid out in front of you, and you can quite easily sort of disable certain functions or features if you want to. You could easily, just from looking at it, it's an alarmingly simple button press to just vent this entire vehicle if you wanted to.
Just gonna lock that.
Yeah. Lock that
Just-
function out, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. You basically manage to kind of you change admin permissions basically. Everything apart from your
I
pad
just changed
now
the
becomes
password.
yeah, the password gets changed. The whole thing kind of you feel the vehicle slow to a stop quite slowly. Sherman looks over his shoulder at you and goes, okay. And you see him reach underneath his seat.
No. No one has to die here. Do you understand? You get your money. You get to go free. These guys.
And we walk away.
And we walk away. Everyone walks away just fine.
I've seen how these men operate. I ain't trusting these men with my life.
Why not?
Because they have been arrested a great number of times, and only the most recent one was one in which everyone survived.
He did also just watch two of his friends get killed at some point
Yep.
in the last few days.
I'm gonna bring Sparks around to the front of the
Yep.
car.
That's fine.
How
Sparks
does
listens.
Sparks move?
On my way.
Yeah, just boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a lot heavier than the other two in the group for the most part. More armored, built off of a military chassis. So
How much fine control do I
Sparks is
have
just
over?
gonna hunker right down in front of it.
yeah,
And just
you can
look
kind of
at it.
see.
Yeah.
What does Sparks look like?
So Sparks is just a 20-foot tall mech. For the most part, it just kind of looks like your basic mech in that it was a reclaimed, salvaged mech skeleton, and it was just a bunch. There's a lot of different parts on it. It looks like it was built in a trash heap, basically. And there is no uniform paint color whatsoever. It is just whatever was on there.
Yeah.
So then, in seeing Sparks do that, can I get Rodeo to come around the back and just kind of like pick it up so it's the wheel spin?
Pick up the wheels.
Just pick up the back of the
Car's
car
not
enough so
moving.
that the wheels spin? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it is pretty much ground to a halt earlier after Mac basically made everything.
I turned off all the
Block up.
systems.
Yeah,
and
you
went,
turned off the
"Mine."
whole thing pretty much. Boop. So yeah, he could still pick them up if you want him to.
It would definitely get the attention.
Yeah, it might stop stop Sherman from being able to stand upright and shoot anyone.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm
all right,
thinking.
cool. You feel all of a sudden, I mean, it's coming because you get like a little heads up kind of in the top corner from Rodeo's perspective, where you just see these big hands kind of reach down and start picking up the back of the APC, and suddenly everyone kind of jolts slightly. Most of you are sitting down. Sherman stood up in the hallway, kind of slams into the window on his back and drops the shotgun momentarily.
Can I grab it?
There's a door.
Oh.
There's a doorway between you and him. It's
Okay.
He kind of starts reaching for it again. I guess this is probably a combat situation at this point because he's feeling pretty threatened.
I mean, he's threatening us with the shotgun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but he is feeling.
I mean,
threatened,
Sparks
and you
is also staring at him.
Yeah.
Just this
So-
big trash heap is just there.
Initiative. If you could all hit me with what your reflex is, because this will affect how things go.
Big fat
is that-
0.
Same.
0 in reflex. 0 in reflex.
That's for just like the attributes, correct?
Yeah.
Yep, just the attribute.
0.
0 as well. Wow, he's got 1.
We're so quick
he
and
is
nimble.
before you. You kind of. What are you going to try and do in the scenario where you can see that he's about to reach for his gun? Because the way it works is you have to declare what you're up to first because you are slower,
Wants
and
to
then
go.
he gets to decide what he's going to do as a result of seeing basically what your plan currently is. Yeah, it's very strange, but I quite like it actually. It kind of leads to people with high reflex being in a position where they're like, okay, I know what's going on because I'm quicker than all of you.
Yeah.
So he's only a little bit quicker.
How are we going to settle the tie, or are you just going to go down the line like Alex?
It's up to you. You can decide amongst yourselves. You're all the same, and Big Boy McGee is also on the same as you. All the guards are on a 1, and only
Okay.
2 people are on a.
So
on
just
2.
so I can like imagine what's happening, we're in like the cabin, right?
Yeah.
In like the
Imagine a
back bit,
prison
seated
bus.
area.
but a
Yeah.
short one.
Pretty much.
And is there like a door, like a closable door in between us and
Yeah.
the cockpit?
Absolutely.
And Sherman is currently in the cockpit.
Yeah. Kind of reaching for the
Was
shotgun. He's
the
just dropped.
door in between the two open?
It's open still. Yeah.
Is there a way to close it?
Yeah. There's a button, but
Okay.
here's the but. Even if you got there, it won't work.
It won't work. Okay. Oh, because Alix is Mac has done stuff. Okay.
Oh yeah. I could just close the door.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like one of us could close the door
Just
and just
beep.
lock him in the cockpit.
yeah.
Not like keep his air and stuff like that, but just like lock him in there till he's calmed down.
Yeah. Just lock
Okay.
him in, have a reasonable
Okay,
conversation.
So who's up first from the slow? Like who's the slowest out of the 3 of you?
Do we want to make that the first move then? And kind of go Alex, Emily, and me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll just
Okay.
boop is my that's my
your
move.
plan,
It's just
yeah? That's what you're
hmm.
planning on doing, yeah?
Yep.
Because here's the fun bit. That will probably happen after whatever he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna. Is Gravel done yet? Is he done updating?
95%.
Ah, Gravel.
Yeah. You hit.
Update nearly installed.
Gravel.
Please bear with for appropriate time of 5 minutes.
Ah, you're killing me.
End user license agreement
Ah, I accept. Accept cookies.
will be available after updates installation.
Ah. I think
You are a valued customer.
sure. I guess to get my pick.
Yeah, you
Can
just
I-
hear orchestral music in your heads.
Okay. But it's like really crackly and like low
Yeah.
quality audio. yeah.
Absolutely. It's
And
horrible.
before the phrase actually finishes, it cuts off, so it just drives you insane.
Can I just get my pickaxe out and guess
Yep.
I'm gonna get my pickaxe out and be ready to hit him with it.
If he, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. What is
Bo.
Bo doing?
Since he's probably going to get a shot off, I want to see if I can just switch seats so I'm sitting in between the 2 guards.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
They're planning to grapple Stabby McGee and Fat Boy Slim.
So Bax and Wallace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bax and Wallace are getting pretty much about to get tackled. You see, as you are getting up to kind of go and swap two sitting between them, they're already like moving by the time you even realize what you're up to.
You're just standing
Sherman
in the way.
You hear that kind of like, but there is only two people who are quicker, and that is Bax and Dwight himself. And Dwight is basically going to jump up and run through the doorway and just shoulder barge this guy,
Fair.
hoping to knock the the shotgun out of the way, but probably not successfully.
Who knows? We'll find out.
Not successfully, but
No!
they are kind of tangled up in each other for the most part.
I imagine the whole like transport is also on an angle because Rodeo's
Yeah.
just
Max is
holding
just
it.
like Max has just
Yeah,
thrown
you
himself
hear-
down the cabin.
Yeah, pretty much. You hear the crunch as Dwight kind of like flies forwards and slams his shoulder into
Ooh.
Sherman's chest. He does something happens, but you're not sure it was anything drastic. Bax basically is just going to do his darndest to make sure he is not grappled or like held down in any meaningful way, like the slimy little shit he is. At that point, it does fire off that you manage to get your pickaxe out. The door shuts, and you're like sat with your bow is sat looking at the backs of the two guards. There's
Can
only
I
two
see-
guards in the room with four of you, I think, if you count your two amigos. Big boy
He hasn't moved.
it hasn't moved. He's kind of being tackled, but it's not necessarily going great.
He's just got it.
It's tackling a rugby player at
Yeah,
that
he's got a
stage.
guard
It's just
just
hanging
like-
on.
So can we like chat?
You can if you want.
So the two guys, Stan and Lance.
Lance. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was less of a combat and more like a few contested roles, I guess. So we should probably not. The
Lads,
combat rules act a little bit differently from
yeah.
that, but
Lads,
we're playing loose.
lads. Mal Sherman's out of the picture. Briefly,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts? Do you want to go free, or rather, let us go free,
We
and
just go our separate ways.
and we just go our separate ways? You know, we aren't getting paid enough by the company to make it worth the risk for us. You can see it from our perspective. I understand you're getting paid enough. That's fine. No qualms there. But we need to be out of this situation, preferably. Everyone lives. We just walk away.
Whilst this whole conversation is happening, you can tell that like Lance is pointing a gun kind of haphazardly at Wallace, trying to get him to calm down. It's not necessarily working to the best of his ability. Mac, you can see at this point that the binds that are being used to bind Dwight are being very much wrapped around Sherman's throat in the next room. So you can see it from like from Sparks'
He's
perspective.
just got these huge eyes.
Sparks is just there like, oh damn. You just hear, oh my.
Yeah,
We
just
could, yeah.
open the door and be like, Dwight, just hang on. Don't kill him.
If we get the shotgun, then
Just kick the shotgun over and just leave him alive.
Okay.
There's
so you
no
open the
point
door,
in
yeah?
it. Yeah.
Make a persuasion check. You're basically
'cause
asking
I'm
this guy who's got the upper hand as the door opens.
I'm just saying don't kill him. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. So
Hmm.
base 3 and then my intelligence. 2 successes.
2 successes. Nice. You know what? Actually, I'm going to make it the first destiny roll.
Destiny roll.
It's not a contested thing in this case. It's just a whether or not he's going to.
Actually, listen.
Wow. He does not listen and keeps basically strangling the crap out of Sherman.
Are we still in initiative order, or
I would argue you're probably about to be back into it because Lance is about to blow a fucking shot into Dwight's back.
Can I declare? Can I do something?
Yeah. Yep.
I was right by the door when it closed, right? Can I see the shotgun?
You can, yeah.
Can I pick it
It's
up
currently on
and
the floor.
point it at Dwight
Sure.
and be like, "Everybody, stop moving! Stop! Everyone, just
So
stop!"
a shot, like, because we're not technically in combat, this is a very awkward, stilted sort of like sharp actions are happening, but not necessarily like a full brawl.
It's not a full
If
brawl.
If it was a full brawl, I'd probably lean right into the full combat rules. But to put it simple, because he's quicker than you, Lance does fire the shot. Dwight does keep going, and Sherman is unconscious. And the shotgun ends up in your hands because no one's there to contest you to get to it.
Okay. Who did Lance shoot?
Dwight in the back.
Okay, but Dwight hasn't stopped.
He hasn't stopped. No, he was still strangling by the time the bullet hit him.
Okay.
And
You
he went,
just happened-
ah!
Yeah,
Started
and then
pulling
tightened
harder.
up, and then just was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm just like, at Dwight, at Lance, at, everybody stop! Dwight,
Dwight.
put him down.
Lets him go, and he just sort of flops into the Sherman's unconscious body, just thunk into the window. He's not dead, you don't
It
think,
just
but you won't know for
squeaks
sure.
down the glass.
Yeah.
Lance, put the gun down.
Persuasion, I guess.
I have a shotgun.
Yeah, that's why it's probably going to be fairly easy.
Okay, persuasion is intelligence. It's 3 plus 1 from intelligence plus 1 from persuasion, making that 5. 2 successes.
2 successes.
Yeah.
No, he has 1 bullet left, and he says, "You put the shotgun down. I only need 1 to take you out." You're not sure that's correct, but
Well, it didn't kill Dwight.
yeah.
Are there lights in the back of the car, like where we're at?
Yep.
Can I just turn those on max and just try and blind everybody?
Sure.
Simply
Then-
just flash grenade the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's bright enough suddenly enough that I wouldn't say it's necessarily a flash grenade, but it is enough to have people like react almost as if
Someone
it were a flash
take
grenade.
his
Oh.
gun.
Then, if
I'm
that's
too
the
far
case,
away, I'd argue.
can I just shoot out a message that says "Hold on" and just have Rodeo upend it?
Like, just
Oh!
fucking turn the
Oh
whole
god!
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
Poor
Wow.
Fox! He's
I am
about to get
going
a
to
car
need
thrown at him.
you to roll.
Put it up on its
right,
nose,
so
kind of thing.
6d6 without you in the cockpit. He only get to roll the base like 3, but because he's
Okay.
a mech and is bigger, I'm saying in this scenario it's double for 6. This should, in theory, be quite easy. Everyone inside's probably gonna have to make some sort of check.
I'd like to point out, Mac never actually stood up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still sitting down, so
I like to think that Mac and Bo still have their like
Mac and Bo
seatbelts
are-
on.
Well,
Yeah,
Bo
well,
did
this whole
move.
thing's going arse over tit. You're about to end up on your heads if you're not careful. What did we get? How many successes?
3 and 3.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
So 3 successes, 3 fails?
Yep.
Okay. 3 is not unreasonable for a mech. 3 is not even specialized, really. You probably needed 2. Pretty much, he almost over-eggs it and just flips it straight over like a caber toss sort of situation.
Does it just like go over Sparks?
Yeah.
Because Sparks has been lowered.
Oh my god! Yeah, because
Like, I
Yeah, pretty
specifically
much.
put that.
It's like a frog situation, like
Yes.
leapfrog over.
Big bugs.
Okay.
All of
Amazing.
you. I mean, what are the skills again?
We'll probably be like
Acrobatics.
acrobatics.
Probably, yeah. I'm going to say acrobatics to try and not land on your necks.
Great! I'm so good at reflex and acrobatics.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't need to make it a perfect landing, but what
literally
you
am
roll will probably.
I'm only rolling 3 dice.
I do want to argue. I am sitting down, so can I just be holding on?
Sure. I mean, that'd be grip then.
Cool.
Or
I'll do a
probably
grapple.
100.
Yeah. I
You're
can't
Yeah, I was gonna
standing.
say-
You're the only one standing.
I'm
You want
literally
to roll grapple as
I'm
well?
standing up and both of
was
my
going
hands are
to
holding
request.
the shotgun.
Yeah. You get the two of you sitting down still get to roll grapple if you like, because you can sort of hold on to something.
So it's the base
yeah, not so
3
much
and
for-
then
Your strength and anything you've put into grapple.
Yeah.
One success from me. I only rolled 3 dice.
Hmm,
One success.
Okay.
I have 2 successes
Nice. Okay.
from my
I have
5
1.
dice.
Right. Right. Okay.
We out here dying in session
I'm
2,
gonna,
my
I'm
dude.
gonna quickly do some double checking of some stuff. I gotta try and figure out how I'm gonna make this work, but you are absolutely coming out of this in some sort of
It was
injured
for
state.
TPK. Thanks, Rodeo.
Okay.
Okay, TPK.
His intention was just to like nose it instead of leapfrogging it over.
He just went yeet.
Yeah.
I'm back. So he over eggs it a little bit. You all take. Did anyone get more than one?
I had 2.
Yeah.
You got 2. Okay. So you're fine. You're like a little bit staggered. So you'll probably have a temporary sort of like anything you do in the next round will probably be to minus 2 dice off of whatever roll you make just
Okay.
for the next sort of few seconds. The rest of you take a minor injury, which is 1d6, admittedly less than what one Mechs getting, but that's like, you know, that's permanent. That'll take a few days to fix. You
What's
kind
the
of
minor in
one of you
injury?
lands on your tailbone, the other one like feels like you could have nearly dislocated a shoulder blade or something. It's not great. So it's minor
feel like
injury,
since-
which is a minus 1d6
I'll take the
to all
shoulder
physical
injury.
dice.
Because
Okay,
you don't want to
cool.
fall on your butt.
Well, I wasn't
Bo-
sitting down.
Bo slams back into the seat really hard.
Yeah.
I like land like because I'm standing in the doorway. Maybe I'm like thrown forward and I like hit my collarbone on a
Yeah.
seat or something.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay.
buddy.
So that happens. I mean, the other lot are going to still have to make their rolls as well, actually.
Yeah. Is everyone okay?
Fuck, wow. Okay. Baxter basically, like, dislocates his wrist by the looks of it. You hear,
Stabbing
oh,
wrist?
my stabbing arm! Wallace. Oh, no! Wallace, no! He's a little bit stronger. He's still kind of mostly sat down, actually. He got kind of tackled before he managed to get upright. Actually, he does pretty well. He holds on and is, for the most part, he kind of
he's so big and
gently
heavy.
rolls
he probably
off
doesn't move
when
that much.
it kind of flips, and he's holding as it goes over, and then as soon as it lands, he kind of gently plops down to the ground without much injury because he's got plenty of padding. I'm gonna make this roll for Sherman with like some real penalties because
He's unconscious.
Like pretty fatal. Yeah. Ow.
The good news is because he's unconscious.
If he
he's
doesn't
very
get
limp.
treatment, you reckon he'll probably die. He landed on like the back of his neck.
Ooh.
Oh, mate.
If not death, then at least like
He's
Severe
paralyzed.
allergies.
he's paralyzed. Yeah. I mean, he's not conscious for that. So, Stan and Lance, let's go, lads. 2 successes for Lance. I'm going to say, even though that's the case, the last shot fired off didn't hit anyone, and he's now out of ammo. Just because that wasn't like a complete success. Stan, buddy. Fuck, wow. Stan, like, is looking at the back door, I guess, sees this happening, and like manages to kind of like just land the flip almost. As soon as it goes up, he's in the air and he's happy to land on his
jumps and he's
and
like
then
sitting
jumps
there
up
as
and
the
then
guard
lands
spins
on his
around
back,
him.
and he's fine. He's
Or like
just fine.
as it like flips over, he's like running up the sides.
Sure, yeah.
Like a hamster in a wheel.
You don't know this as players. You don't know this, but as characters, you don't know this. But as players, you know this. In his mind, there's a moment where he's like, "Finally, my moment." And yeah, the last one, Dwight. We stand Stan. Everyone stand Stan. Hashtag stand Stan. That's right.
Stan.
I
We wanna
think
see that
Stan
on
is standable
Twitter.
at this point.
Stand
Yeah.
in the comments.
Dwight is fine. He kind of lands on his back, so it's not like a perfect landing.
He lands on
and there's
Sherman.
kind of blood everywhere. Yeah, probably landed on Sherman actually. there's like blood coming out of his injury, and it's kind of making a mess, but he's not brutally injured beyond the gunshot, obviously. Everyone kind of reels apart from Stan, who was going to try and grab Bo's. I guess it's what, like a rifle of some sort?
Yeah,
a varmint
it's just like a little 22
It's a varmint rifle.
Yeah.
He's going to try and grab that. So this is like a contested sort of athletics thing, I guess, or grapple or whatever.
So did the car do like a complete flip and then just land back on its wheels on the other side of Sparks?
No, like upside down. So you're all on the roof, pretty much.
Okay.
The roof is now the floor. The floor
Okay.
is now the roof. Right. So
Since
Bo,
I don't keep it loaded, can I just let him have it?
You don't keep it loaded?
No.
All right. I'm going to say, have you got a D20 to hand, or?
I can make one.
Okay. Roll a D20. Anything above like 12, I'm going to say fine, it wasn't loaded.
10.
Anything below that, and I'll say, nah, bruv.
Okay.
It was loaded.
10.
10.
Yep.
Okay. So it was loaded.
Okay.
That's fine. So it's up to you whether or not you still let him have it.
Then I'm going to fight him a little bit.
Fight him for it, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Hit me with that grapple. He's going to do the same. Don't forget that you are down a dice. Whatever you do, you're down a dice because you're injured.
Thanks, Rodeo.
Strength. It would be +2, so it would be 6.
Nice.
5.
Mm.
4
Wow.
successes.
4 successes, even with the minus.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Funny, I'm doing that, right? There's the strength, which is 1, and then my grapple is 2. So on top of that base, that would be 6. Minus
you're
the
rolling
1.
6 dice.
Mine's
Yeah.
5 dice. Yeah. Well, he only rolled 1 success, so
Nice.
he like tries to grab it, and you almost like let him have it for a second, and then just sort of turn it, and he's immediately like, "Oh, I got played." Yeah. He's now kind of like backing off, and is realizing this situation has turned against him somewhat.
Question: are the prisoners who are strapped in hanging upside down right now, or is
They
everyone?
are not strapped in. They were just bound. They were not
Okay,
strapped down.
no. So no one's like in a seat upside down.
No
Right,
one's
okay.
upside down hanging up or anything. They're all mostly on the floor. I think the only person standing up is Stan, but now he's being held at gunpoint. So fuck
As
him, I
Bo's
guess.
just laying on the ground going, my butt.
Ow, my ass.
Then
Yeah, he doesn't know that though.
are there enough helmets for the people? Or will some people have to make a sacrifice for a helmet?
Oof. There are enough helmets. There are 3 guards and 3 crooks. If this place was to be vented, there are enough helmets for 3 people other than you.
Because we all have our own helmets.
You all have your own.
Then can I make a proposal?
I mean, they're not wearing the spacesuits, so even though they have helmets, they would still be exposed to the vacuum of space because they are themselves not wearing spacesuits.
Can I make a
So the
proposal
crooks-
that we dump Sherman and have the Mechs carry us home?
That's
Okay,
not a bad
home.
idea. Okay.
I mean, dump
So
Sherman and look at where he
Sherman's-
is, and then...
So you're not actually dumping Sherman out the door or anything. You're like,
I mean, that's up for debate.
okay. No, I'm curious because there's still 2 people.
Gravel has a big bucket on his back for carrying rocks, so we can put him in that.
Yeah.
And carry him home. I mean, he is
Okay.
as good as dead, right? Is that
Oh,
have we?
pretty much, yeah. Unless someone here is really good at survival.
Oh, then if he is essentially dead, I
I've
guess
got
we may
a
as well
point-
take his helmet.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
a point
I
as
have
well.
a point in it as well. Like it's. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could try, but he's probably still going to be paralyzed at the very least. You're cool. If you want to try and stop him from
can he
just
speak?
outright
Is he
dying.
even awake? No.
He ain't conscious.
Conscious.
Much as I don't want to kill Sherman right away, I feel like killing Sherman right
Stan-
away is the easiest way to do it.
I wonder, Stan and Lance, is there a protocol for this?
Kill the prisoners.
Probably.
I mean,
yeah.
no, I mean for Sherman, not for the prisoners.
Kill the prisoners.
For which thing?
I mean, Sherman is as good as dead. Are you going to let him suffer, or is there a protocol to like end it cleanly?
It would. There's not necessarily a protocol, but I would like to. However, I just ran out of ammo.
Biohazard ammo.
Can I borrow your gun for a second?
Then I guess I'll just get up
Yeah.
and take
It's
his helmet
fairer
off.
Pretty
to
good job.
it's fairer to end it quickly than let him die in the vacuum of space, I think.
Yeah.
Or suffer
probably.
longer than he needs to.
Actually, I want to step in, close the door, take his helmet off, and then shoot him.
Yep. No worries. I mean, it's a like you said, a varmint rifle, so that's like quite a low caliber, isn't it? So
Yeah, but I'd much rather.
you don't want to break
Play it
any of the
safe.
suit or anything.
Yeah.
You all. So he walks into the cockpit. The door shuts. Dwight kind of walks back out and sort of stands in the room with the rest of you as you kind of cross paths almost. The door does shut, and it is just followed by a very like percussive, and Sherman is dead.
Sherman got old yellowed.
Yeah, he got taken out back and shot.
It's no longer old Yeller.
The
It's now old
two
Sherman.
guards do not look very comfortable with this situation.
We will take him back and
Come
Yeah,
with us if you want to leave.
a proper burial. But right now, there's only enough helmets for 3 of you. But we also have 3 mechs. If they were to hold their breath and go into the mech cockpit, how long?
They're not going into my car.
Can you
They're staying in the
drive?
truck. We're going.
It's
You
I
put them in the
think
cockpit.
Oh, yeah, Sorry, they can still drive, can't they? Yeah.
yeah, theoretically, as long as like Rodeo or one of the mechs just puts the car back on its wheels, I can just give the authorization back. Because the reason we stopped is because
You
I
took that
basically
away.
just went,
Yeah.
I have admin control.
Yep.
So we could just leave them and take off in the mechs and have the two just go about their lives.
That's probably
Are
the
you having this
cleanest way to do
conversation
it.
out loud?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, we may as well be at this point.
They say at this point, leave. You all go. You give us back control. Give us back all of the things we need. Leave us on our top. Take the guns with you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be turned back over? You're going to sit here and
No
turtle?
need. It's fine.
Alright.
We'll send out the SOS to have people come and pick us up. And then, as far as anyone's concerned, we got turned over by his men coming to rescue him.
Mac, break the camera.
Oh yeah,
What?
camera footage is gone.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's no camera, there's no audio, there's none of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys go. We don't need the suits if you're going in.
Alright.
On one condition. If any of those 3 try and shoot us before this ends, do us a favor of at least taking them out when you get the chance. Dwight says, sounds like a pretty fair deal. Could be fun.
What's fun?
I'm not actually going to kill him. I was just saying if I did, you coming after me down the line could be interesting. But that's not what I actually want to happen, for the record. I happen to be a man of my word, and you will get paid.
It's probably the bad time for jokes.
Sorry. Stressful in situations. It's, you know how it is.
You were choking that guy out a moment ago.
Yeah, I'd do it again. He's a massive beep.
He censors himself.
That's the update
That's
finally
very-
installed.
Update complete.
Thank you, Gravel. Okay. I'm sorry, Stan and Lance.
Yeah,
It
you've done quite enough, I think.
It didn't have to be this way. And
Yeah,
that's no one's fault.
If it helps, I was kind of on board with your plan. I would have preferred Sherman didn't. Old Yeller himself, but
That's what happens when you have an overexcited mech. I'm gonna bring Sparks back around over to the truck and just be ready to leave.
I'm not sure the suits are going to be terribly comfortable since, well, one of you is a little on the large size,
Certified big boy.
but at least 2 of them should do the job.
I mean, if we put like one of our mechs like right at the exit, you
Mm.
can just
Hop in.
Do we have enough? Does any of us have enough room for more than one person in the cockpit of the mech?
I would assume either gravel or rodeo.
Yeah, logically.
Gravel, absolutely not. Gravel's too small. Rodeo, maybe, but your best bet is probably to have Wallace
Handhold.
in one of the mechs and one of you just piggyback
back?
on the back of one of your mechs. One of the crooks are in control of one of your mechs, but you've still got two that are in control.
Or we could autopilot the one that the guy's in.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
have
you
it
absolutely
following
could.
another mech.
If Bo was willing to let Mac do that.
Yeah.
I'll put Rodeo to good use, and I'll just ride the top of it.
Like I said, Gravel has a big bin on his back, like
Yeah.
for storing rocks. So you can just like sit in the backpack if you like.
Well, there's the little house.
Are you
that
sitting in the backpack? And I'm just
chilling on
auto-driving
top.
everyone?
Just hanging on
I
top.
can pilot Gravel now. Now Gravel's finished updating.
So
I
to
can
cut
pilot Gravel.
a slightly long story short, you are backpacking two of them. Wallace, big friend-shaped boy, is being kind of kangarooed inside Rodeo, and Bo is gonna just hang on.
Sit on top.
Sit on top playing
Yeah.
his banjo.
If he has one. I mean, you won't
Plays
hear it,
banjo.
but
Good.
yeah, that works out. You kind of leave the two guys sitting there looking very stressed out, sitting on the roof floor, but they have control back, and you yourselves, once you're in your mechs, are picking up on the distress signal they are sending out. And you're close enough that you reckon they're probably going to get help within a few hours. 8 hours maybe. So hopefully they don't need food, water, or to go toilet in that time.
I imagine they probably have like bags or something they can
Yeah,
shit
they'll
in.
be fine. They're bros.
Yeah.
And you kind of are heading off, I guess, at this point, following Dwight. And he kind of gives you directions to a smaller kind of habitat, probably east of where you were originally going, that isn't really known for much, in all honesty. It's not as small as the one that you come from, and he does sort of obscure any sort of like naming convention for it. He doesn't necessarily name where you're going. He's just given you like a location to go to
Like
that you can all see
coordinates.
on your maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you probably could have a rough guess at it, but we'll save that for next time, I think, because I feel like walking off into the
bittersweet sunset.
sunset for this one could be an appropriate ending for an interesting few choices.
Yeah, I think
You're kind of rodeoing along, I guess, just sort of holding on for dear life as your mechs all head that way. It won't take you long, but you'll get there. And then next time we can kind of deal with the consequences of whether or not he'll even pay you or whatever. You know?
Fucking hope so.
Yeah, you will hope so. I mean, he seems to be a man of his word in that he hasn't killed the two guys when he said he wouldn't. So it'll be a time.
excellent.
Well,
Sweet.
thank
Yeah.
you everyone
Hopefully
for
that was-
watching.
Hopefully that was enjoyable.
Hope
Yeah.
you all enjoyed that. We'll be seeing you next week for episode 3. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to. Leave a comment. Could we have,
That would be preferable.
what
As long
what
as it
should have
isn't-
happened to Sherman?
Yeah, as long as it isn't about whether or not we did a good job of sticking to the rules, because that's a new system.
Yeah,
So
it's a new
expect
system.
perfection.
It's okay. We're
Yeah,
all working
new
it out together.
But the morality of old yellering an unconscious man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
open
the
to
point that I
debate.
screwed a
But you
bridge.
can debate that. I don't mind if you debate that. I'm sure there's. Yeah.
Rip Sherman down in the comments. Stan,
Yeah.
Stan,
No, don't.
Stan.
Stan Rip Sherman.
And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye!
Bye bye, all. Toodaloo.